welcome back. We have with us today Tanya Bowden from North Arkansas Regional Medical Center. Tanya, we're glad you're here today.
Thank you.
And Tanya, what are you going to show us how to do?
We're going to make a jalapeno cornbread dressing. It is a recipe that is a favorite of my family, and we traditionally enjoy it every holiday.
Sounds good.
It is good. It has a little extra spice in it and vegetables. I like to experiment with spices and vegetables, and so we've kind of come up with our own mixture here.
Secret recipe
mixture here, yeah.
And you're going to share this with us?
We're going to share it.
Oh boy, we're fortunate. And I neglected to say that she is a registered dietitian, that's a mouthful, at North Arkansas Medical Center, so let me get that in there.
That's right. Well, first thing that you want to do is we have already sauteed our vegetables. We have in here 2 onions chopped, 4 stalks of celery, 4 jalapenos that have been minced.
Did you leave the seeds in them?
No, I seeded them. I cut them and seeded them.
For the faint of heart?
It'll still be warm enough,
okay.
though. And we sauteed it in a ½ cup of margarine. You can use butter if you like, but basically it's just my choice to use margarine. Okay? So we've already sauteed the vegetables. Next you want to add it to your 8 cups of cornbread that I've already crumbled here.
And I'm sure there's no sugar in that cornbread.
There's no sugar in this cornbread. It's just regular packaged mix without the sugar. So we add the vegetables, and you want to have a large bowl because it can overflow if you're not careful. And we'll stir all this in. Oh, I meant to mention too, there's 2 teaspoons of thyme in here also.
Wow.
So that you get a little spice. It smells good, doesn't it?
It smells really good.
I'm hungry for it.
Oh.
Then to this, we're going to add some low sodium chicken broth, about 3 cups. You want to make it nice and moist, very moist.
I'll hold the bowl for you.
Thank you. But you don't want it to be over moist or too soupy. So otherwise,
how do you tell when it's just right?
Well, I'll show you.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if you get it too dry, it won't cook right.
Do you cook this in the bird too if you're making a turkey?
No, I don't. I never stuff my bird. If you do want to stuff your bird, you want to make sure you do it in the last minute.
You don't want to bake it. You don't want to cook it the full length of time.
Well, you do, but you want to just stuff your bird.
Oh, right before you put it in the oven.
Before it goes in the oven.
You wouldn't stuff it the night before.
Right.
Sure. But that's like people who leave the meat on the carcass, and put it in the refrigerator and pick off of it for days. That's not safe either.
That's not too good.
Right.
But you do want to make sure that you refrigerate everything. I mean, at least take the meat off the bone.
Oh, that smells so good.
Okay, now we're getting to see it's nice and moist. You can see some broth lift down in the bottom, but it's not soupy. So then we're going to spray our pan with some Pam, or you can lightly oil it, or use melted margarine if you like. And we'll pour it in.
Looks good.
Stir it around in your pan so that it gets nice and
evenly distributed.
Evenly done, right? Okay. And then you want to put it in a preheated oven for about 30 minutes, preheated at 400 degrees.
Okay, and I think we have one of those magic ovens again.
Already made. And we'll cut it. This is what it looks like. You want it to just get lightly browned on the top. You can garnish also. I didn't happen to have any garnish with me today, but you can see the peppers in there. So you can garnish with peppers.
It smells good. I know I keep going on about the smell, but I have a thing about jalapeno peppers.
You can garnish with peppers, all different colors of peppers, or cranberries, parsley, sliced boiled eggs, whatever you like. Okay, so let's just cut a little square.
You must
here.
have tough hands.
No. No, it's warm. Luckily, it's not really hot. And we'll take out a little piece, and we can taste.
Oh, good. This is my favorite part.
Like
are we going to be fancy and cut it, or
no,
are we just
just
going to break
take
some
it.
off?
This is a Southern tradition here, so. How is it?
That is really good.
Thank you.
Those peppers are great. Now, I understand that you do some other things with special seasonings and...
Yes, I have a experiment that I have going with seasonings. I'm just trying to come up with different blends so we can make things sodium free and better for us with good flavor.
It's after you swallow it that then you begin to feel it. That is good, really good.
Thank you.
Well, maybe sometimes you'll come back and tell us what else that you do.
I would love to show you some more secrets.
That would be great. We'd love to have you.
Okay.
Please watch us next time, and if you have any comments or suggestions, write to us at Post Office Box 1287, Harrison, Arkansas. Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how you can make an evergreen centerpiece that will last just about a month, almost the whole holiday season. And this is very simple to do. We're going to start with just, this is a loaf pan. And I'm going to add Oasis that has been soaking in water. I have to cut the Oasis to length. I'm going to cut off about this much. You see, it isn't thoroughly soaked. I didn't leave it in there long enough, but don't have time to do it now, so I'm going to have to pour lots of water on here. And I'm going to scrunch it down just like that. And then have to dry my hands off. We're going to put floral tape across just to hold it. This is the kind that is waterproof. Now these centerpieces can last all month long, and you can put all sorts of different things in it. Now what I'm going to use today is a combination of fir, pine, and cedar, and all of these are out of my yard because it's handy, it's convenient, and it doesn't cost anything. So I'm going to start by making some longer pieces to go on the end. When you're making a centerpiece, generally you don't want it to be really, really high because people will have to see over it. So we're going to assume that this is for a dining table centerpiece. And I don't see one that I like precisely, but we'll go from there. And we're going to have about the same distance on each side. I'm making just a framework now for this. And on making a centerpiece like this, you want to have a variety of color, shape, and texture. And there are several different evergreens that are here in our area that you can use. We also have hollies that are readily available. The cedar, the wild cedar, sometimes has these beautiful blue berries on there, and I really covet those blue berries. I think they're just gorgeous and look lovely in a centerpiece. So I have kind of a, let me move some of my stuff over, kind of an outline of the shape of the arrangement. It's going to be large. And I'm going to take some of this cedar. Now, unfortunately, evergreens bite, and they bite hard. If you do a lot of these, your hands will be covered in prickly things. And if you've ever gone into a florist shop at the holidays, you will probably note that their floor is a mess, unless they have someone specially hired to sweep the floor. Because when you get carried away making flower arrangements, everything goes on the floor that you don't use. It's just one of those facts of life. And I'm going to try to quickly get this arrangement, being attacked by evergreens, quickly get this arrangement so that you can see the shape it's going to take to the floor. Ouch. It bites. Ow, ow. Sorry. Don't mean to give you all these sound effects, but at least you know people put their life's blood into some of this work. It does hurt. These are just like little needles on there. And you fill in with the cedar. I'm going to move this out of the way. It gets distracting so that you can't really see what's going on. I'm not going to do both sides. Teeth come in handy. Now to pine. Pine is much more forgiving, other than the resin that comes out and gets on your hands. Now you see we have a variety of texture, the lacy look of the cedar and the very fine needles of the pine, and then the fir. So that variety of texture really helps your arrangement to look pretty. Now if you wanted to put a candle into your arrangement, you could do that. I would do that first and then work around it, because after you get all of this evergreen in there, it's hard to stick a candle in. I think I have some holes there in front where I can't see, so I'm just going to fill them. Now what I wanted to really show you and impress upon you, let me just turn it around quickly so that I can see if it's filled enough. It is, you get the idea. That when you get it to this point on both sides, you can use a variety of different things to complete your arrangement. Excuse me. You could use, and you don't always have to go out and buy flowers. You could use bows. I'm just going to set these in there momentarily so you get an idea. You could use bows in your arrangement and put it all over. That's one idea. You could use silk flowers in your arrangement. That's another idea. Or roses, if you liked roses as your silk flower. This one doesn't want to go in. Anyway, roses. It would look beautiful. If you had little novelties that you wanted to put in there, you could put those in there. But I really like fresh flowers. And what I'm going to be using today are mini carnations. Mini carnations are beautiful. They're long lasting. They'll last at least 10 days usually. Birds are very happy today. I enjoy filming outside. I hope you enjoy the atmosphere that we have by filming outside. It just adds a lot, I think, to the show. Let me know your ideas on that. I'm always curious. Now, remember, I'm doing this upside down and backwards, so I hope this is looking good and you get the idea. Don't throw away little buds like this. Everything is important and use everything. Generally, in an arrangement like this, you won't want to have your blossoms touching. You add it, leave it open, and then you can add little things in between. If you wanted to keep this arrangement all in white, you could add little white ribbons in between. You could put pine cones. There's just no end to the ideas of what you could do. Little balls. You can make little ribbon roses. And I even have tiny little candy canes. Now this has just been to give you an idea, and I've had to work really fast. So I hope that you are maybe going to go out and try it yourself. If you have any comments and suggestions, as always, write to us at Post Office Box 1287, Harrison, Arkansas, and thanks for watching.